4, 3, 2.
Boom, we're live. Welcome to another episode of Millennial Mindset.
I'm so excited, Dalton, for tonight's episode. It's one of my favorite things to talk about.
Mine too.
And it's goal setting. And it seems so easy and so simple, but this literally can change your entire life for the better. So today we're going to be talking about goal setting, and it seems simple. And I remember when I first got into the power of the mind and motivation, one of the first things that people teach and very successful people teach is creating a goal. You need to have small goals and you need to have long-term goals. And everybody's different, and that's like the beauty of life. Some people's goals could be big, extravagant goals, and then you can have other people can have, smaller goals, but they're all important because success to everybody is different.
Yeah. Success is anybody who's successful is just anybody who sets goals and goes out to achieve it. It's subjective. It doesn't. Your goal could be to be worth $10 million, or it could be to make $100,000 a year. As long as you're set out to achieve your goals, that's what makes you successful.
Absolutely. As long as you have a goal in mind, because everybody's life is so different. And that's, like I said, that's the beauty of life. Everybody's so unique. Mm-hmm. But as long as you're willing each and every day to get better, improve yourself and enjoy the journey, and you're going to have your ups, you're going to have your downs, you're going to have failures, you're going to have success. But along the way, as long as you're helping people achieve their goals and you're trying to achieve your goals, that's what life's all about. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing in the past, couple years that I strive for each and every single day is how am I improving my life? How am I getting closer to my goals? But how am I helping people achieve their goals? Mm-hmm. And I think that's one big aspect of everybody's life that people kind of lose focus on. And I feel like the more you help people, the more you're going to help yourself in return, just because helping others is a big aspect of life.
Right.
And when you help, I don't mean to cut you off, but when you help others, you learn so much. You learn about how to improve your life. You learn about yourself. You learn about others. So if you can take away one thing from tonight's episode, create a goal, but also help others achieve their goal. And it could be big, it could be small, it doesn't matter.
Yes. And we really want to talk about clarity. Get clear of where you want to go in your life. And I think the biggest problem with a lot of people nowadays is they don't know where they're going. And when you don't know where you're going, think about a GPS. You're in the car, you put your GPS on, and if it has no destination, you're just driving. You have no directions, no turn-by-turn directions on where to go. And a lot of people focus on what they don't want instead of what they do want. Imagine if a GPS told you everywhere not to go. That's not going to get you very far of, that goal that you want to achieve.
And the thing is, if you ask everybody wants to be successful. But what does that mean? And that's why you have to be so crystal clear with what you want to achieve in life. And I encourage everybody, write down right now, push pause on our video and take some time, take a few minutes, take 10, 20 minutes and write down. Don't just think it, write it down. And you can watch past episodes, the power of just writing things down, pen to paper. But write down what it is you want to achieve, both long-term and short-term. If that's having a certain type of house, if that's having a certain type of car, if that's having a certain amount of money you're earning each year, if that's a family, if that's living in a particular area, be crystal clear from how the house looks, the curb appeal, to what's in your refrigerator, to the cars in your garage, to what kind of bed sheets you have, to what kind of shampoo you have in your shower. I mean, you have to be so crystal clear, and don't be afraid to go visit those areas that you want to go live. Don't be afraid to go to the dealership of the cars you want to drive, because I truly believe when you surround yourself with these items, you start to become those particular things. Mm-hmm. And you just feel that energy, and that's so powerful in and of itself. And me and Amanda, we have particular goals. And that's the other thing, like surround yourself with people who have the same goals and ideas as you. And me and Amanda, every single month we'll go to the community that we want to live in one day. And every single time we go there, I get so excited and I get so motivated, and it becomes more of a realization. It's almost like you're telling yourself, I can achieve this one day, and even when you're going through like tough times and you're feeling down and you feel so far away from these goals, when you go visit them in real life, it motivates you even more.
Yeah, and there's something in the brain. It's called the ARS. It stands for the reticulating activating system. And what you'll find is that when you do create those clear goals and you keep them in your mind, and you do, visit those nice cars, those houses that you want, your mind is going to start to go out and look for things it's going to get you closer to that goal. It's like when you first think about buying a new car, so just say it's a Challenger, which I bought in past years. And, I wanted a Challenger, and I went out and I bought a Challenger. And after I got a Challenger, all I saw on the road was Challengers. Well, nothing changed. It's just my ARS in my head started focusing on Challengers, and I started noticing it. And that's the same way when you create those goals, you're going to start to recognize things that are happening in your life, and your mind's going to start to go out and take advantage of opportunities that you wouldn't have taken advantage of otherwise if you didn't have that clear goal.
Absolutely. So let's give, certain things that we do, at least what I do. I know you're a little bit different, but when I first got all into, the power of the mind and goal setting, I just got out a piece of paper, and my favorite color to write in is blue ink. And I just literally just wrote down 10 things that I wanted to achieve in life. And it could be something so drastic where you don't even think you can achieve it, but it's just fun to write down. It's fun just to dream. And by writing down these certain things, it starts like you start to believe it, and you start to generate these creative ideas. And like I said, it could be something so small or something so big, but have fun with it. But do that right now. Literally write 10 things down that you want to achieve in life. And as life progresses, because I'm not the same person I was a year ago. I'm not the same person I was 10 years ago. And so as life progresses, you'll start to change up some of these goals, which is okay, in my opinion, because you'll start to accomplish some of these goals. And as life goes on, you may not accomplish it, but you'll notice that it opened up several more doors and kind of opens your eyes up to achieve bigger and better things that you didn't even think were possible. Mm-hmm. And when we got into this podcast, one of our goals was just to help one person. If we can make an impact in a positive way on just one individual's life, that was our goal. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because when we came out with our first episode, I don't even feel like we were that good. I mean, I felt like we were decent, but compared to some of our idols that, some of the people that we look up to, I don't feel like we were anywhere close to where they were. But obviously they didn't get there overnight. They set those goals, mm-hmm. and they had small goals and long-term goals, kind of what we have. Yeah. And one of our short-term goals was help one individual. And within the first week, I got a call from one of my buddies who I haven't spoke to in years. And he was kind of going through some tough times. And he said, I was looking for some motivational stuff. I came across your guys' Instagram, and I saw your stuff on YouTube, and it made me feel so much better, and it motivated me. And I remember I called up Dalton right away, and I said, we just did our job. We helped one person. Mm-hmm. And I go, let's keep going. Let's go help 2 people. Let's try to help dozens of people. Let's try to help hundreds, thousands of people. So as we go, we surpass our short-term goals, and it just made us realize that we can help so many more people. And I think when we realize that we can help so many people, I think it's gonna open our eyes to help so many more people. Yeah. And that's kind of the beauty of life is, like I said, create goals, but along the journey, enjoy it, but also help as many people as possible. And you'll start to realize that we have so much untapped potential as human beings that we don't even realize. Mm-hmm. But when you start helping people and you're coming from a good place, I think you'll just open up so many more other doors that you didn't even think were possible or you weren't even open to.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to set big goals. Like Grant Cardone talks about, like, times that by 10. Whatever goal you have, times it by 10. Because I think we may set goals, but I think we have a lot more potential than we realize. And once you set a goal, you realize, wow, I actually can achieve this. Maybe I can achieve a lot more than this. So as you achieve a goal, then you continue to level up in life and continue to make bigger and bigger goals. And, this day and age, it's kind of hard to create goals because there's so much information, us as millennials with social media, it's hard to get clarity and it's hard to know what to go after. There's so many shiny objects. And, to me, I think a lot of times something that helps with getting clear on what you want is figuring out your big why in life. Everyone has a big why. And, there's an exercise, it's called 7 levels deep. And how it goes is you start with, what do you want to achieve? Write down what you want to achieve and then ask yourself why. Why do I want to achieve this? Why do I need to achieve this? Write that down. Ask yourself again, why do I want to achieve this? And keep going deeper and deeper. It's 7 levels deep. And eventually you're going to get down to your big why. You really have to dig deep in your own self, and it's going to surprise a lot of people, but that driving force, that why, is really what motivates you in life. And you might get clear on what you actually want in life, because we might see things on social media and we'll think, oh, I want this, I want that. Well, if you really dig deep in yourself, you actually find your why. And I think that if you achieve that, I think that will lead to a lot more fulfillment in life.
Exactly. And you don't have to worry about, when you're goal setting, you don't necessarily have to worry about the how. Create these goals, and when you focus enough of your attention on these goals, you'll start to attract certain scenarios and people into your life to help you achieve these goals. And that's kind of like the crazy part too, is like when you start goal setting, it's like, wow, I didn't know how I was going to get there, but then I was in this particular certain situation and it helped me achieve another mini goal to get to my bigger goal. So it's like when we first started, we're talking about these things and we had no idea what we're doing, and we just started brainstorming ideas, and we found it led us to opportunities on how to get all this stuff going. I had no idea how to set up the computer to the mixer, or how to set up any of these cables, because none of it came up.
How to sync the video and audio together.
That's like the craziest part. Like both of us had no experience with this. I mean, we had experience with like some social media stuff, but we had no idea what we're doing. And none of this stuff came with instruction manuals. That was like the craziest thing. I remember when we ordered it and you're like, where's the instructions? And I go, it didn't come with anything. And so we had this goal in mind. We had the why we wanted to do it is in order to help others, but we didn't know how we were going to do it. I had no idea about, the products, about the brand. And we just went online and just typed in 4-person podcast kit. It came up. We compared it. We read reviews. We tried to do as much due diligence as possible. One of my buddies, he's into not podcasting, but live streaming his video games. And so he helped us, quite a bit. But I had no idea he, was that informative with this kind of stuff, but it led to that opportunity. He wanted to get on the podcast, and we learned just so much stuff that I had no idea we were going to learn. So that's my point, is if you have this goal, just go out and achieve it, and you're going to learn things along the way, and you're literally going to surprise yourself on how much knowledge you can learn. And the beauty of life is this knowledge that we're learning, who knows how it's going to help us down the road. This could lead to bigger goals, where if we didn't set out on this journey, who knows, we might not have success later on down the road. So even if your goal turns out to be a failure, nothing in life is a failure, first off. But if it turns out to be a failure in that time, you can use that knowledge that you learned and apply it to future life scenarios. And you're like, whoa, okay, now I know why that happened, several years ago. Now I know why, it wasn't a success then, but I used that knowledge that I learned and applied it in this certain scenario, and now I have this great success. So you just got to put yourself out there, be willing to learn, and just have fun with it and say, you know what, it didn't work out this time, and I don't know why it didn't work out, but I know in the future it's going to help me for the better. Yeah. And I feel like so many people just get frustrated because when they set out on a goal, it doesn't work out right away. It may not work out in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months, next couple of years. But they're like, why didn't it work out? I put in so much time, I put in so much effort. But what they don't realize is it could help them later on in life.
Yeah. Some people, they don't realize that it's not necessarily, yes, the goals are extremely important, but it's the person you become.
Exactly.
When you achieve that goal. When you set out this ginormous goal, you think, how am I going to get there? The adversity, the challenges you're going to go through, that's going to make you so much more of a bigger person. And that's going to allow you to, the more that you can become, the more that you can give.
And it's crazy too, because like just this podcast alone, I feel like Dalton and I have grown so much too, because I've known Dalton for so many years, and he's been such a, believe it or not, shy individual. And I always told him, I go, Dalton, you have so much untapped potential, far beyond what you even believe in yourself. And just by him starting this podcast, I think you surprised yourself. And it's only been 2 months since we've been doing this. Can you imagine where we will be in 6 months and a year? And so that's the other reason why we set these goals for ourselves, but we also want to motivate you guys all watching us and supporting us. It goes back to taking action. Whatever you want to do, write it down and just go back to every single day. And even if that's just, hey, you know what, I want to advance in my job. Write it down and review it every single day, because you got to become obsessed with it every single day and have that why. You don't need to know how, and truly do your best. And you're going to learn so much along the journey, so much. So just take action, write down the goals and take action.
Yeah. And, progression is such a huge factor in living a fulfillment life and being happy. And you can't progress if you don't have a goal. There's nothing to progress to. So, creating goals in different aspects of life as well, create a goal in fitness, create a goal with your career, with relationships. You're going to progress in every area of your life, and it's going to lead to a just overall well-fulfilled, balanced life.
And I feel like being happy, you always got to push your boundaries. You always got to push your limits, because when you become stagnant, I think that's what makes you kind of, I don't want to say depressed, but
if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yeah, like it just makes you not as excited, you're not as motivated, you're not as happy. So when you're setting out on these goals and you're achieving it day by day, and you're getting that much closer and you're taking that step forward, I feel like that's when you're truly happy. When you're setting out on these goals, no matter how big they are, but if you're getting closer and closer day by day and you're working towards it and you're motivating, you're helping others, I feel like that's where true happiness comes from. And when you achieve that, and it's like the craziest thing, because like there's goals that I've set out on and I've achieved them, and I thought that was like, yeah, it's done. Like I achieved everything I wanted in my life. But then it's like, I have so much more. So like people always say, when I get this particular thing, when I achieve this thing, my life's complete. But the thing is, like, you're always going to want, and I think that's a part of human nature, is you're going to want to achieve more, and you're going to want to set out and progress more. So like Dalton said, you got to enjoy the journey, you got to help others, and keep building your life, keep bettering yourself in every scenario of your life, in your family life, in friendships, business, fitness, your mindset, in every aspect of your life. Become the best version of yourself possible. Set goals in all aspects of your life, big or small, and go out and do a little bit every single day, because small victories over months, over years, lead to big outcomes, big positive outcomes. And I feel like a lot of people are kind of timid to set out on their journeys, because sometimes you set out on a big goal and you're like, how am I going to achieve that? And they focus on the how, when you shouldn't be focusing on the how, but just chip away at it, a small piece at a time. And you're going to look back after a month and be like, whoa, I achieved so much more than I thought was possible. Then after 6 months, you're going to, whoa, I can't believe I achieved this much more. After a year, guess where you're going to be? So a little bit day by day. And I always say, there's nothing wrong with massive action. There's nothing wrong with that. But some people get so afraid of that, and it is terrifying to go set out on a massive action. So have those big goals, but take a little piece every single day and progress and work towards it every single day, and keep track of it. Write down what you're achieving every single day, and you'll be so surprised how much you can achieve, over weeks, over months, over years.
Yeah. It's like Tony Robbins says, we overestimate what we can do in a year, but we underestimate what we can do in 5 years, 10 years. Mm-hmm. Create those goals every day, and it's every day. If you're accomplishing something towards your goals, it's going to create a compounding effect. And like you said before you know it, a year is going to go by, and you're going to look back and look at how much you accomplished.
No, exactly. And you guys just got to go out there, have fun. I feel like we kind of touched on everything we needed to touch on today. If you guys want to see anything in future episodes, put it in the comments below. And I'm huge on gratitude. We've done past, podcasts on the power of gratitude. So thank you guys again for all the love. Thank you guys again for all the support. And we're right here. We're growing with you guys. And like I said, we're going to continue to do this every single week. We're going to try to grow this thing as big as we can, because Dalton and I, we have big goals. We have small goals. So go out there. You guys got to take action. And one thing we can tell you guys is make those goals, take action, and help others along the way. Because that's our biggest thing that me and Dalton want to do, is if we can make an impact on one person's life, multiple people's lives, right. That's what it's all about, as well as us achieving our goals.
Right.
So go out there, help others, and live life to the fullest and have fun.
And I want to end just one last thing, just to help you get clear on your goals. This is a little exercise you can do. You can do on a daily basis. Get a journal out, write down your current status, where you're at, and be honest with yourself. And then create your 1-year goal. Where do you want to go in a year? And even write a letter to yourself a year from now, and as if you're looking back at your life, everything that you accomplished, everything that you wanted your life to go, and then write down why you want to achieve these goals, because your why is so important when you're creating these goals. And then the next step is to figure out the capabilities that you need to achieve those goals, because you can have your why and your goals, but it comes down to having the right strategies and the right capabilities to achieve them. And it comes from learning from the right people, listening to the right people, whether you have to listen to podcasts, audiobooks, get a mentor, get into a mastermind group,
and you got to be consumed with it. Be consumed with your goals. Right. And you got to constantly remind yourself of why you're doing it. And one thing that I love to do is I have pictures of all my goals. I have pictures of the house that I want, of the cars I want at work, right above my desk. I have everything that I want to achieve. I have them in my wallet. So everywhere I go, if I'm feeling down, I just pull out my list and, remind myself, why am I doing things day in and day out? And, create vision boards. That's so powerful. Carry around a little journal. I have one in my duffel bag. I carry it wherever I go. And I just start writing down things that I want to achieve. And sometimes I even write down things and I start laughing just because of how crazy big it is. Like right now at this particular moment, I don't think I can ever achieve it. Mm-hmm. But who knows, maybe in 2 years I'll be like, why was I ever doubting myself? Right. I can achieve that. So just constantly remind yourself of the things you want to achieve. And you got to be putting it everywhere. Put it on the dashboard in your car. You got to visually see it. You got to surround yourself with it. You got to tell yourself about it. You got to write it down. Just be consumed with your goals and why you're doing it.
And what that does, we can only push ourselves so much, but when you really focus on that why and surround yourself with those right people, that pulls you through. And that's going to get you so much further.
Absolutely. So don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, and share. And put down in the comments what you guys liked, what you guys didn't necessarily like.
What you guys want to hear in future episodes.
Because we're always brainstorming ideas on how we can improve the channel, what we can talk about in future episodes. And also, too, we're going to be working on having future guests. Mm-hmm. And we have some lined up that are going to be awesome. Some of their stories and some of our friends. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've even had meetings, the past couple of weeks on people I went to high school with, they want to introduce us to some of their friends, which we would have never had those connections. Like what we were talking about earlier, right. We would have never had those connections if we didn't start this podcast.
Right.
So we got some really, really, really good stuff lined up for you guys.
So hit that notification bell so you know when we drop videos.
Absolutely. And make sure you share it, guys, because we want to see how far we can take this thing. We want to push this to the limits and beyond on what we think we can achieve.
And the more people that like and share, that's the more people that are going to hear our message. And that's our goal, is to help as many people as we can and leave an impact. So
absolutely. And on that note, we hope you guys have a wonderful day. Go out, start those goals, help people along the way, have fun, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode of Millennial Mindset. Take care.